Hi, welcome to Making a Better Me, day 189 update. You'll notice that my update background is different, one that we haven't seen before. That's because I'm in a different location. We are updating tonight from sunny Orlando, Florida. And we are actually staying at the Wyndham Garden Lake Bonavista Vista Hotel, and which is in the Disney Springs Resort area. The hotel is acceptable. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing great. I've stayed in worse places and I've stayed in better places. It was reasonably cheap, although based on what I'm seeing so far, I probably would stay at a Disney All-Stars value resort over this in the future, just because of some of the additional costs. Overall, the room fee was less, but then there was additional fees that I wasn't expecting that would be included in your resort fee at Disney. And there were also extra fees for some other things. We had to pay for transportation from the airport. We used Uber for the first time ever. It was my first Uber, and it was a pretty good experience. We had a great driver named Clive, and he brought us to the airport. He allowed us to stop and get a case of water, which was something that he wasn't supposed to do. He put us on a toll highway to get us here faster so as to not waste our time. So, you know, I appreciate that, and we gave him a nice tip, and everything was good. So feel pretty good about that experience, and would, you know, definitely use Uber again. Based on that single experience. One of the things that was a little bit difficult about it is because I don't have US coverage on my phone. When I had Wi-Fi at the airport, and then when we left the airport, I didn't have any way to connect. So I had to sort of figure that all out afterwards once I was able to get connected to the Wi-Fi at the hotel. So that was, you know, one thing that was a little bit of a problem, but not a big deal, and everything worked out fine. So pretty happy with that. So like I say, so there was that additional fee, and the other thing that we didn't get included with our room, which we would have got at the All-Star Value Resorts, would have been magic bands. So we had to go out and buy magic bands, and that ended up costing about $28 or something like that with taxes and stuff. So you do end up paying, you know, a little bit more overall by the time you factor in the magic bands, the extra service charge for the room, and the transportation to and from. You're probably just as well off to stay in a Disney Value Resort than to stay at, you know, some other hotel that is charging. I think it, you know, was about $50 less per night, but I mean, realistically, we were probably coming close to that by the time you factor in the $25 service charge. So that's $25, and then, you know, the magic bands. There's another day. You know, there's money, and the Uber transportation here cost us, with the tip, it was $38. So I mean, you know, that would quickly, you know, you're right there. You're looking at a good chunk of the money, almost 3 days worth of the extra $25 that I figure it would be on top of the rate here, and then the trip back. I mean, you might pay for one more day or something like that. So I would probably in the future definitely stick with a Disney resort, be an All-Star or a Value Resort, rather than an off-property hotel. Now we do have some advantages at this hotel, even though it is off property. We do get the extra magic hours, and we did also get access to the 60 days out window for fast passes. So let's talk a little bit about our day today. The day started off a little bit shaky for me. I was a little upset. Woke up early. Found out that there had been a small incident at our house with one of our dogs. Everything has worked out and it's fine. It was just a little concerning, a little upsetting, but nobody's hurt, nobody's sick, nobody's, you know, just a small little incident that sort of started the day off not in the best note. Then shortly after that, I noticed a notification on my phone that our flight was delayed. Which really had me frustrated because we were on a very tight timeline for tonight to do some of the things I really wanted to get done tonight. So our flight was delayed, and I was a little bit frustrated with that. So Jessica drove us to the airport, and a big thanks to her for doing that. I really appreciate it. And we got to the airport in plenty of time. We went through security and customs in a heartbeat. I mean, there was no lines, there was nothing. We were in and out, and then we had to sit and wait for like 3 hours for our flight. So, it's great to not have to wait in those lines, because we've had to wait in lines at security and customs before, and that sucks. But at the same time, sitting up in the other place is not much better. Anyways, so I was still a little annoyed that my flight was delayed. And then as the flight came in, I noticed something that I thought was pretty amazing, or actually they announced it. The plane that showed up for us had come from Orlando to pick us up. So it was flying from Orlando to Halifax, and then from Halifax back to Orlando. The flight that we got was the WestJet Disney Magic plane. So there's a huge Sorcerer Mickey on the side of the plane, and stars, and it's a really cool themed plane. I tried to get some pictures of it. I did steal a stock photo of it off their website, but I did get a couple of pictures of it. Not great, they don't really do it justice, but pretty darn cool. I really think that was pretty neat. Inside the plane, it was pretty much the same as any other plane. There were fancy headrests on the seats, but everything else was about the same. Our flight went really well. We had smooth skies all the way. I don't think there was any real turbulence. Great landing. Everything went well. So that was all good. Then we got to the airport. Got my Uber. We picked up our bags. They were one of the first ones on the turnstile, so that was really good. I like it when our bags are there first and not last. And as soon as I picked up my bag, I contacted Uber, and within 10 minutes our drive was there, and we were on our way to the hotel. So that was really, really good. I really liked that. When we got to the hotel, there was a fairly big line to get checked in, and that took a few minutes. And then things got bad. After we got ourselves into the hotel, and we decided, okay, let's make our way up to the room. And I had, the suitcase, and we had our carry-ons, and I had a case of water now as well. There was a huge lineup for the elevator, and I just said, okay, well, let's just take the stairs. So we took the stairs, and I'm carrying stuff, trying not to drop water. We get to the room, we get in, we get situated, and Leanne said, "Where's my phone?" She had put her phone down somewhere, probably in the lobby, and when I went back, it was nowhere to be found. To say that we were upset would be an understatement. It was, pretty frustrating and pretty upsetting. Really not a great way to start your trip. Phone is, still under contract. Not that that's, the biggest deal in the world, but, we'd be probably looking at, we'd have to buy a no contract phone in order to replace that, to keep having a phone, which would be frustrating and hard to do. We're not in a financial situation to, just go out and buy phones outright all the time. So that would have been a little bit of a trouble, but we would have made it work, but it wouldn't have been great. So we headed into the parks. So first thing we did is we headed over to Disney Springs, and we picked up a couple of Magic Bands. And then we headed into, we wanted to get to Hollywood Studios. At this point, we decided we were hungry and we needed some food. And I get a little disoriented, we were a little frustrated, and just sort of off my game because of the whole thing with the phone. So it was a little not thinking as well as I could be. Also, the Wi-Fi situation is a little bit more difficult, and I keep, it's one of these things. It's great, they've got Wi-Fi in a lot of places, but I have no access at all anywhere that I don't have Wi-Fi. We have our phones set in airplane mode so that we don't have access to, so we don't get dinged with roaming charges and things like that. So basically we're working on Wi-Fi only everywhere we go. So really it's pretty good, but at the same time it's a little frustrating when you're on a car, when you're in a plane, or well, not in a plane, but in a car, or on a, being transported from one place to another, you lose access. And you have to reconnect to a network or a different network everywhere you go. I'm hoping that those settings will stay, and as we get to the parks, as we get to every place, it will remember and just connect automatically as we go there in the future, but I'm not 100% sure how that works. We'll find out, I guess, tomorrow. So we headed over to Disney Springs. From there, we said, okay, we need to get to Hollywood Studios. What's the best way to do this? We went to some buses, and they said, well, go to the boardwalk, and then you can take a boat from the boardwalk over to Hollywood Studios. So that's what we did. We had to wait a little while to get to the boardwalk. When we get to the boardwalk, we said, okay, let's get something to eat. We bought some pizza. Leanne said it was okay. I thought it was terrible. I didn't like it. It just didn't have any flavor, and a lot of crust and not much on it. Anyways, that's irrelevant. So then after that, we picked up a Dole Whip smoothie at a little stand on the boardwalk. That was absolutely delicious. I really liked it, and I know Leanne really liked it, and yeah, that was a good, nice treat. From there, we rode the boat into Hollywood Studios. When we got there, I checked, and there was no way that we were going to make it to either one of our Fast Pass rides. We had Fast Passes for, well, we were well over an hour too late for Rock and Roller Coaster, and we were right at the cutoff, as well, we were just past the cutoff as we entered the park for our second one, which was Toy Story Mania. So we missed both of those Fast Passes this evening, so we'll have to make up those rides at a different time, hopefully tomorrow. We did have a Fast Pass for Fantasmic, which I would say definitely was not necessary. Fantasmic, there were probably at least a third of the seats were empty, maybe more, maybe even closer to 50% of the seats were empty. Do not Fast Pass Fantasmic, at least in July. I'm not sure what it's like other times of the year, but yeah, it was a pretty good one. Now we did catch the late show. There were two showings of Fantasmic tonight. There was one at 9 and one at 10:30, and we caught the 10:30 show. When we come out of that show, the park was closed. So what we did from there is we took a bus to Saratoga Springs, and that bus dropped us off there. We walked about 10 minutes into downtown Disney, and then another probably 10 minutes back to the hotel from there. So it was a pretty easy walk from Saratoga Springs, and the bus pickup was really close, and it was just really easy to deal with. So that's probably how we'll be, at least coming back at nights, and possibly leaving in the mornings. We'll probably head over to Saratoga Springs and catch the buses there, making the best use of Disney transportation that we can, even though we're not staying in a Disney resort. I know they encourage everybody to use their buses, so we're taking well advantage of that. When we get back to the hotel, we decided we'd check at the desk one more time and see if anybody might have turned in Leanne's phone to security. And they checked, and the phone had been turned in, so we were very relieved. We also got a small snack at a little place in the lobby that's open 24/7. I got a sandwich from the fridge, and Leanne got a bowl of fruit from the fridge, and that'll hold us over until morning. So tomorrow we have a big, fun, exciting day. We are heading to the Animal Kingdom, and then from there we're going to go to Hollywood Studios. We have dinner reservations at Hollywood Studios, and we have some Fast Passes at the Animal Kingdom, and we are planning to rope drop at the Animal Kingdom tomorrow morning on an extra magic morning at that, and hopefully go on Flight of Passage first thing. So we're in for a busy day tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have some pictures to post and a video sometime late tonight or late tomorrow night. Well, late tonight, I guess, technically, because it's well after midnight here. And we have to be up at 5:30, so won't be a whole lot of sleep tonight. Hopefully adrenaline will get us through the day tomorrow. We will get to sleep in a little bit more on Tuesday. Anyways, if you've liked this video, hit that thumbs up. I would appreciate those kinds of likes. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I would love to talk to you about my Disney experience and anything that has happened so far. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, last of all, please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you join me on my daily vlog. all kinds of fun, and especially over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of great stuff from here in Disney World when we're here, and even after we get home, I'm sure there'll be more videos coming. So anyways, that's it for tonight. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.